And welcome back to Subculture on CentralCoastRadio.com. Well, there is a very, very special performance coming up of David Williamson's The Perfectionist, an amazing play, and it's on in a number of different places. So we thought this morning we would actually get Jackie and Amir on the phone to talk a little bit about this amazing production that we're all going to be able to go and see. Welcome to the program, Jackie and Amir.
Thanks, David. Thanks very much for having us.
No problem. So, Jackie, tell us a little bit about David Williamson's The Perfectionist. Why did you choose this play this time around?
I chose The Perfectionist because even though David Williamson wrote it 35 years ago, the underlying issues of it are such that they're so contemporary. It's about basically can women have it all? Okay, and this is a bit of a sort of contentious topic that sort of goes around women's forums. So, and inside the play, we look at our character Barbara, who's brought up her 3 kids, and the youngest one's at about 3 now, and so she's decided that she wants to go back to university and do her thesis. Okay, much to the sort of opposition of her husband Stuart, who's like, well, who's going to take care of the kids and run the house? So, they do end up sort of swapping roles as such, but we can really see the headspace then that Barbara gets into and all the consequences of not actually being in the house kind of 100%. So it's, I believe it was written almost well ahead of its time, but I guess it's really also indicative that, our society and culture is actually not that much different from 35 years ago in a lot of respects.
Definitely. Isn't that amazing how plays can transcend generations like that? Of course, just recently on our show, we reviewed Michael Gough's Away, and that's a production that, of course, is set in the 60s, and it was written years ago, but the themes and topics explored in the play were still very relevant to today. Isn't that amazing how these productions that were written years ago are still relevant to today so much?
Oh, absolutely. And I think isn't that the greatest sign of a brilliant piece of writing? I mean, you look at, Molière, and you look at some of those older plays like School for Wives and things like that, and they're still so relevant today, even though a lot of them were written over 100 years ago. So, I guess 35 years ago, it's still quite, I guess it's still quite modern and contemporary, but we actually did get permission from David Williamson to set it in today. So it actually opens in 2023.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about how this production has come together, because of course most of our listeners would know Amir and Sharon for doing comedy in the past. How did they get involved with this project, and how did it all come together?
I actually sent out an audition call, and Sharon came along to audition for the role of our matron of Shirley, and she did a brilliant job. I also was having trouble finding, at the time, a man of around the same age to play her husband. And Sharon sort of mentioned that, my husband Amir is an actor and this and this and this. So she brought Amir along to our reading with the rest of the cast. And I instantly took to Amir and thought, I think he could really work this role quite well. So I sort of offered him the role on the spot. So it was the most unorthodox audition process for Amir, but look, he's done a really brilliant job, and he brings, a world of experience with him as well. And Shirley's probably our most comical character. She's got a lot of funny throwaway one-liners, and it's quite a physical role. So I was really looking for someone in that role who could, who could be centre stage and could pull off those comedic moments, which the play actually needs, because a lot of it is quite, we're talking about, not serious matter, but, there's arguments between husbands and wives, and, there's a lot of hot topics sort of going around. So with the scenes in Jack and Shirley's house, we needed to kind of lighten the mood a bit, and Sharon certainly does that with all of her comedic experience as well.
Definitely. Now, the rest of the cast is made up of Rebecca Carton, Benjamin Newell, and Ryan Tracy. Tell us a little bit about those talented actors and how you got them on board as well.
Interesting. All right. So, Ryan Tracy plays Eric, who is our Danish babysitter. So half of the play is basically set in Denmark. And Ryan was he was the cast member who I pretty much brought on first, actually. From the word go, even from, when I audition people, I look at even how they respond to emails, because I think effectually as a director and a producer, you need to be working with people who understand directions. So my first direction when I put the audition out was, do not send your resume or headshot. And the number of people that write in, because they're like, oh yeah, send this off, apply for this, do this, and you get a resume and headshot, and you go, well, you don't listen to instructions, so I'm sorry, you're not appropriate for this role. So Ryan was brilliant, and he was just so invested from the word go. Do I need to work on my accent and this, and he's been such a great help. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Ryan come alive on stage. We're actually in the middle of full dress rehearsals at the moment. And our first full dress rehearsal yesterday, I sort of got this last week, I got this glimmer of the character that he's going to become on stage. And it really made me so excited. So, and I think you can say that for all of the actors is that especially, once they get under light and on a stage, it just comes alive. And I'm so excited to see that from everybody. So, and then Benjamin and Rebecca actually came on a little bit later than intended. They were my two lead characters, and originally my other two lead characters pulled out at various stages for different reasons in the first week or two. So, it was a bit of a, I need two new lead characters. So I had three, and then I needed to find two. And we found Rebecca. She was brilliant. The moment I auditioned her with Ryan, actually, and his comments about Beck were that, she makes so many offers. And as an actor, that's really important because you need another actor to give you an offer so that you can take it up and then make a counter offer as well, just to keep things fresh. And I gave Beck a monologue a cold read monologue. And, she nearly had me in tears. And I was, she must be in my play. So I was so pleased that she came on board for that. And then Ben, to be honest, on paper, Stewart is not a very likeable character.
Yeah.
And he's brought such a sensitivity and depth to this character that I really like Stewart now. He's a bit detestable at times, but kind of aren't we all as well? So he's just, I couldn't even foresee this character. I just thought the audience probably isn't going to like him very much, but you really feel quite empathic towards him, and you feel sympathy. And yeah, he has some detestable moments, but again, all the characters have their detestable moments, just like real people. We have those moments where we're flawed, and we don't do the best things in the interest of other people. So that's also what I love about this play, is the depth of the characters, but also that they're just such a true representation of ourselves.
Definitely, and one of the things I love as well about this about this production, is that you're taking it to a regional area like Warragul. As someone who grew up in a country town and was wanting to become a playwright, it was always difficult to see productions like this coming to a country town. What sparked that of wanting to put The Perfectionist on in more kind of regional and places like Warragul and Narrawarren?
The reason was twofold. Why I really wanted to do that was, to bring professional theatre out to regional areas, because often, people on the outskirts, so Geelong, Bendigo, Ballarat, Warragul, they end up having to go into the city to see a really good, polished, professional production. And I know that the reports from the West Gippsland Arts Centre, which is where we're holding it, they haven't had many plays. Like, if you look through their things, they've got, opera singers, and they've got the ballet, and they've got, circus acts, and they've got this. Like, everything's really fun, and yay, this is a really great family event, or, for this. And I was sort of like, yeah, but where's the play?
Yeah.
Where's the intimate art form where we get to watch other people play out our lives? So, so the first reason was because, the more people that can see that conveniently, the better. And then also folded into that was, I sort of thought before we go to Melbourne at the National Theatre in St Kilda, which is where we have our longest run, I did want to sort of use the regional theatres to, sort of make that more of a cohesive whole, so that by the time we get to the city, it's like, yeah, we've already got 6 shows under our belt. This is a pretty, this is a really nice, tight little performance by the time we get in there. So, opening night, when we do have, reviewers and things like that, it should be a really good, tight production. So we should, go really well off that, I think. I think it'll work well for the people in the regions, and it'll work really well for the audience who's going to be coming into the National Theatre to watch that.
Definitely. Now, for all of our listeners out there, if you want to head along and check out David Williamson's The Perfectionist, it's on at Bunjil Place in Narrawarren on August the 4th and 5th, the West Gippsland Arts Centre in Warragul on August the 11th and 12th, and then it goes to the National Theatre in St Kilda on September 7th, 8th and 9th, and then on the 21st, 22nd and 23rd. And you can grab all of your tickets at www.castproductions.com.au. Jackie, I guess to finish off the interview, what would you like to say to people out there who are thinking about heading along and checking out The Perfectionist?
I would say that this is a really great opportunity to watch one of our greatest Australian playwrights in his element. His dialogue it's witty and it's elegant, and the actors bring so much of themselves to their characters that, it's the play is a real talking point. Like, we want and expect the audience to be talking about the play at the interval, and we expect them to be talking about the play in the car on the way home and the issues that it brings up. So, for a great piece of Australian theatre, I say come on down and check it out, and we'd love to see you there.
Definitely. And once again, for all of the listeners out there, The Perfectionist is on at Bunjil Place in Narrawarren on August the 4th and 5th, the West Gippsland Arts Centre in Warragul on August the 11th and 12th, and then it goes to the National Theatre in St Kilda on the 7th, 8th and 9th of September, and also the 21st, 22nd and 23rd, with all the tickets available from castproductions.com.au. Jackie, we want to wish you all the best of luck with this performance. I cannot wait to head along and check it out, and thank you so much for chatting to us today.
Thank you so much for having us on. I really appreciate the time that you've spent today, and I look forward to meeting you when you come to see the show.